Hello and welcome to The Sweaty and the Farmer and the game design, where we put the new special Concord grapes to the test. This is episode number 88, the new age player. I am the lone main gamer as the Sweaty.
And I am Lucho as the farmer. Thanks for joining us on this new episode. This week we hold hands and walk towards the sunset like Salman Luis.
Do we get what is the name of this actor? You know, have you seen the Thelma Louise movie?
Yeah.
What is the name of the actor that it's like he was super young there?
I have no idea.
Man, blue eyes, blonde, Fight Club protagonist.
Anyone in Hollywood.
No! Very famous for eating food on the screen.
For eating food and...
He's the Fight Club protagonist.
I don't know.
Tyler Durden,
Yeah, I don't know the name of the guy.
You don't know the name of the actor? Damn it.
No.
I forgot the name of the actor. But I won one.
Sure.
All right.
Go get it.
So in this episode, we're gonna talk about new player experience, only to a thing in Warframe that my friend find here. So he wants to talk about the more in deep about new player experiences. So, but before all that, we have to tell you about our disclaimer, because we're not perfect. The discussion here is based on our opinions and our in-game experiences. Anything that we say here, our opinions or point of views, is marked by all the games that we played and how we live life. So there you go, right? And now that you are here, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Leave a like or a comment, or do anything social that your platform lets you. That's the best way that you can give us support for the show. And if you like us, well, that will expose us to more people, and maybe they will like us, right?
Maybe we'll grow.
Maybe. All right, so big conversation. So where did this comes from?
From Reddit. That's all the things come these days.
Yeah.
So I found this post on Reddit.
Yep.
So it's basically a screenshot of a weapon, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Showing the mods that the auto-install mods thing does in Warframe. And for those who don't know, basically, for those who are not aware, because some people are not aware,
yeah,
there is an auto-install mods thing on Warframe that you press, and it will just put some mods. They are not random, they're basically just the basic damage mods and some elemental mods, most often than not.
Yeah.
So I was reading the comments, and it was people. There was some discussion going on about how good or how bad this basic build was.
So this auto function.
Yeah.
I saw like the first comment that I saw was like gas and magnetic what? And
yeah, but like someone later says that they use it whenever they get a new weapon, or some quote unquote trash weapon. They just want to learn it fast for the mastery.
Yeah,
like, it's better to use this than no mods at all, which is fair enough.
Of course, yeah.
But and I was looking at it, it's like, yeah, I don't think many people use or even know that Warframe has this It's
Auto install. I didn't
modding.
know. Like as soon as I saw this post, I was like, he actually has an auto installing function. Well,
I knew about it. I don't use it ever. I
Yeah.
think I never did use it. Probably because of the point where it would have been useful for me. I didn't have enough mods for this to be any good.
yeah,
I'll still have to throw just trash mods at random because I didn't have good ones.
yeah.
So it was just more of a waste of time.
Fair
And
enough.
now I don't need it. Like if I get a new weapon, I can throw in by hand.
Yeah, that's what
It-
what generally I do. Like I just throw in like base.
Yeah, you just look at the stats and you say, okay, I'm gonna go for crit. I'm gonna go for elements.
Yeah, but even if like it's just for leveling up the weapon, you just throw like damage multipliers and that's it. Like you don't worry about the rest of things generally, right?
Yeah, but that's what that means. It's you're throwing crit multipliers or element multipliers,
Yep.
and then that's it.
Yeah. So what does this has to do with new player experience?
I mean, because I don't think this is designed for experienced players who can do what we're just saying.
Yeah, this auto
Like,
install feature.
most players that have some base understanding of how modding works,
Yeah,
they can just
Put in.
know what mods to throw in very quickly.
yeah,
That will be somehow effective
correct, yeah.
by looking at the stats. Like at a glance, you read the stats and you can put an okay build together.
Yeah,
May not be deleting level 150 enemies, but it will be serviceable to level up a weapon and
yeah,
get them out.
yeah.
So, why would this exist in Warframe?
So the
But
only answer
just-
is like for new players.
Yeah, I mean, it is like you could also argue that okay, maybe for people who don't want to engage with the modding system.
Yeah,
But if you don't want to engage with the modding system, then what kind of the point of playing Warframe?
what are you doing?
In my opinion,
yeah.
because it's one of the basic like pillars of the game.
Yeah, it's one of the central
It's
systems where you
modding.
get power in the game and progression and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Not only that, but like everything. Like this is what like one of the fundamental blocks of the game.
Yes, correct. And what is
Everything works around it. Many other systems function in a similar manner to how modding works.
Yeah,
So everything, the modding is just a core. Like if you could the style, like the essence of Warframe is kind of this.
yeah,
So if you're not engaging with that and you're playing Warframe, kind of weird. So this is definitely not for that. So it seems, in my opinion, something that is trying to make the system less intimidating.
all right. Yeah.
Because at first glance, the first time that you see either the modding system or the mod collection page, it's just a bunch of cards.
Yeah, and
With
stuff that you don't
stats and
understand,
numbers
like
and-
symbols and like weird positions. And now we have like what is the name? The unlockable thingies, and we have the other the ether sites, and all that appears at the beginning, like not explicitly but implicitly, like you will have a lot more ways to manipulate the systems that you think of at the beginning. So it's
Yeah.
very intimidating.
So it seems to be something that it's there to bridge like that weird gap between new player, I don't know what I'm doing, but I still need to put mods in my weapons so they're effective,
Yeah,
until like this is kind of hand-holding up the player's experience up to some degree, because this will be functional like for the first.
Yeah. How far will you get to just like auto installing stuff on a new player account?
Probably most of the
way. Yeah, right. If you're getting lucky and get like decent mods and you level them up.
Definitely most of the solar system.
Yeah. Do we have a feature like that for Warframes too? For frames?
Yep.
I wonder how that works.
It puts the basic survivability mod.
Like what? Like vitality, like health and shields.
Health, armor, shields.
Okay.
I think it tries to put the basic strength, duration.
No. All right. Yeah. The basic ability enhancers.
Energy.
Yeah. Basic ability enhancers. All right. So yeah, why does this work? Is the question there? We start talking about it like, is this does this help for new players? Are new players understanding what is this helping them to ease into the audit system? So and the new player experience of Warframe is very particular. It works in some places, it doesn't work in other places. So we definitely decided to just talk about the new player experience more in depth, right?
The Warframe in particular, it fails more often than not.
Yeah, which is sad because the game is excellent, and I think it's like I saw a video Jester Hayes where he show you a statistic in the game which is like very concerning, that says that 80% of the players that try Warframe just play for the first 3 hours, which is just the tutorial and the beginning quest, and then they don't play anymore. 80% of players just stick to the first new player experience that Warframe offers you, and when he opens the rest of the solar system, they just bail out because they don't know what to do after that. And only 20% of the players sticks with the game. So that's the impact that a not very well constructed new player experience can have in your game. The game sells itself very good in the first hours, but it fails terribly after that to show you what is the next step, what is the more interesting systems and everything else. So what is the new player experience? What does it entail?
What does?
We have a similar analysis in the early game player experience episode. We're talking about an early game, and we're talking about like in the early game, the most important thing is your new player experience and how you take a player from the early game to the mid game. So it's gonna be similarities, but we're gonna be much more concerned of the construction of that new player experience. So the new player experience is when you open a game and the game has to teach you how to play, show you what is the interesting part of the game, right? Teach you how to manage the gameplay, and leave you with, in my opinion, it's not necessary for early, but leave you with an understanding of what to do in the game. What is the thing that you want to do in the game? What comes in the enjoyment of the game? This can come from exploring the game, or playing the activities of the game, or exploring systems of the game. It actually sells you. It doesn't try to sell you one particular thing, but it sells you the possibilities of the thing that you can do. But one thing that is important in the new play experience is the point where you learn or try to get a basic understanding of the majority of the systems in the game. Not everything, but the majority of the system of the game. So what is the new player experience? That the tutorials, the beginning, and the showcase of the game, right? What do you think? That I'm missing something, or is it too much?
No, I think that's fair. The only thing that I would add is
Yeah.
it may last longer than what it seems.
Yes. There it depends how you manage that. I think the length of the new player experience depends how complex your game is.
I think more than the complexity is how much do you want to, or basically how far do you want to walk your players through stuff. There is certainly an argument to be made that you don't have to show.
You don't have to show everything right away, right?
Yeah.
But will you argue that the new player experience ends when you have been shown all the systems in the game?
It could end before then.
It could end before you've been shown all the systems on the game.
Yeah.
And then after that,
because
yeah?
No, because there for sure are systems that are not geared or intended for newish players, like that are
All right.
in-game stuff.
Yeah.
They're still not shown to you, so. But they assume that you have a base understanding on the inner workings of the game.
Yeah. And this extends like in the lore cases, in the system cases, and in the gameplay. Those are the three things that they're being kind of showcased in the new player experience. Like, these are the systems, that's how you interact with them. This is the lore and kind of the quest line or exploration of tidbits or whatever you want to showcase there. And this is the gameplay, and here you play physically with the game. Those are the kind of three main things that you're trying to showcase in the new player experience. And through those, you want to grab your player and show them like what is cool about your game, right?
Yep, definitely.
Taking the Warframe approach. In the first hours and that first quest of tutorial quests, we'll call it here, they're very successful doing it. They fall off in the systems category, but showing how to play the game is the biggest selling point of the game. Like showing how to the movement system of Warframe, and they show you how to jump, bullet time, shoot, melee abilities, how to use your Warframe abilities and everything else. That excels. You understand how to play Warframe. Very good for that new player tutorial experience. And in the form of the lore, I think they're good too. They showcase you like this is a bigger universe, like one of the first races, what is the important thing, the orbiter, and they give you that sense of and in terms of lore, they give you that sense of wonder about like, oh yeah, this is a bigger universe than you think, and there is a bunch of mysteries that you want to resolve and blah blah blah, right?
I don't know. I don't think. I don't think the lore does a good job, to be honest.
You don't think that you think it's lacking in the lore too?
Yeah, because I mean, like out of the fresh to a game experience, you don't get more than this is box and he's a bad guy that it's trying to steal your thing, and then you get rid of him and then you kill him. That's it.
Fair enough.
I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying that's all there is.
Yeah.
And the game doesn't do much to hint at the things to come.
Yeah, fair enough. It's very weird because I don't know. Like it showcases the systems very good through the first quest of getting the parts for your arbiter. You remember that you go and get like the market part. So now you have access to the market, and then you get like the construction part, and then you get access to the forge, and then you showcase thing, and then the mods part, and now you get access to leveling up mods, and you do it very slowly, so to showcase every part of like the systems, and that is a very good presentation to the game. But things that doesn't do while doing that is like the game never shows you that inside the lore tab are the quests that you're supposed to follow after you finish the tutorial. Right? It never showcased that. It never show you that there is quest there. That's what you're supposed to do, quote unquote.
Yeah, yes. I mean, yes. But you could also think that the tutorial is fairly short.
It's like 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that.
Yeah, but when you finish it, you won't have access to many of the quests because you wouldn't have unlocked many of the junctions that you need for the.
You're right, but you get like the requirements for the quest, and that's a guide that it would be nice to showcase.
True, that's fair.
Yeah, and that's the point where in this new player experience, a lot of new players get lost because there's no next quest after this. There's just like, there you go. You have all the notes and the open worlds. Go see what you do in the game. Never like nudge you of like, go check the quest.
I don't think that's a problem per se.
Well, it's a problem apparently for 80% of the people who test Warframe.
I mean, I'm pretty sure those statistics they sound more alarming than what really are.
All right.
I feel like that's true for most games.
That 80% of the players never stick around.
Yeah, you don't stay playing all the games that you try.
That is true, but how much retention do you actually want? You don't want at least 50% of the players?
I don't think that's possible.
You all right. That's interesting.
Do you think 50% of the people who tried Overwatch are still playing Overwatch?
Well, not right now, but
I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think so.
For me as a developer, I will probably like try to hit that 50%. It's like at least half of the people who test my game.
I'm not saying they're not trying to hit that. I don't think it's realistic for most games.
You think that is not realistic? All right. But isn't that the mark of a good player experience, that you keep the players that actually test your game, actually play and try your game? Because it's already a hurdle to get somebody to play or try a game. So you wanna keep as many players that does that in the process.
It depends.
On what?
I mean, the Warframe is a free-to-play game.
Correct, yeah.
Most people can just download it and try it out and say, yeah, no, it's not for me.
Do you think that's the reason? Because it's a free-to-play game, so we have like...
It's not the reason, but it's not that much of a hurdle to get someone to play a game. Especially if it is free-to-play.
So you say because it's free-to-play, it has like a lot more access and that's why that statistic is so high?
And even for paid game, pretty sure. Like a good example of that is the huge backlog of games that most people have on their Steam libraries. Stuff like that.
I see what you mean. All right, yeah.
And if you go out and see what people have played of their Steam libraries, most people have played like 1 or 2 hours of most games.
Okay.
And never came back to them.
Oh, that's interesting. All right.
Or is that not the case for you?
Yeah, I try.
Okay.
I clean the majority of my backlog, but there's some games like MMOs and that sort of stuff that I've tested that I haven't played more than 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right. So
all I'm saying is that 50% is very unrealistic.
All right. Lucho says that it looks more alarming. All right. Fair enough. So that's the new player experience. To get you to the point where you've seen where you have been tutorialized or shown the basic systems, because as we discussed, not all the systems are basic. The basic system, the gameplay, and exploration or lore opportunity or showcase of what the what the interesting parts of the game are in terms of like lore or exploration or anything else. That's the new player experience. That and it can be between 3 to 8 hours, you would say? Would you think 8-10 hours, something like that?
Most of the time, I guess it depends on the game.
Yeah, there's some games that takes that new player experience longer because it depends on the pace of the game, I think, like how fast or how slow you want to showcase your systems.
That depends on the game.
Yeah. So it can vary between like 4 hours and 12-13 hours when showcasing everything that the game has to offer. But that's the give or take. Like I think Destiny has something like that. It has like a 2-hour, 3-hour quest, 4 hours while they showcase all the majority of the systems. But then you don't have everything open, so they show you more stuff. I don't know, it's weird. So it depends on the game. That's what we say.
Yes, it does depend.
But the end point is where you have been tutorialized on all the basics system and you've been tutorialized fully on the gameplay and you've been shown all the possibilities of the game. I think that's where the new player experience ends. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, there you go.
It may also not look just a straight up tutorial, but
yes, it may. It's another look. How? No, we are all players. How is the new play experience change over time? This was a question that was musing about
how
it.
what?
How's the new play experience change over time? Are the tutorials better, worse, quicker, shorter, more involved, less involved?
For what?
For games in general. Like, do you even remember the Doom had tutorial?
I mean, probably the first couple of levels are considered tutorial levels.
In Doom, right? Has like the original Age of Empires had a well-paced tutorial.
It had a tutorial.
It had a tutorial. Yeah, cool. All right. Has the new tutorials and new player experience been better, like over time?
I don't know. Where are you trying to get it with this?
Yeah, I was like, I was musing about the evolution of the new player experience. Like, I think right now it's much better. Like, the tutorials are more integrated into the narrative. They take more time. They are more seamless while you're playing the game than before. They were very simple, very to the point. That's what I mean. Like, now the new player experience is a little bit more complex than it was before.
For example,
a good example, right? Compare the tutorial from, I don't know, like original FPS games like Half-Life or Duke Nukem with the new player experience tutorial of Destiny 2, or in like the tutorial of Legend of Zelda with the tutorial of God of War, something like that. Right?
Okay.
My point with this is like the new player experience has been refined and been more complex and less in your face than it was before.
Sure.
That is my point.
And
what? That is my point. What do you think? Is it true? Is it not true? You think that new player experience hasn't changed at all?
I don't think it's changed much.
You don't think it's changed at all? I think for me it's like they're being we as game developers
they have always been the same.
They've always been the same.
Yeah.
But I think we've been better at like delivering that experience tutorial. That
I don't think so.
You don't think so? That is more seamless. That is not like as in your face as it was before.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I do think so. Like I do that the new player experience and the tutorials have been like more integrated into narrative.
You don't think that the first level in Doom was clearly a tutorial level?
Yeah, it was clear. Yeah, yeah, but
and you don't think the first mission in Destiny 2 is not clearly a tutorial mission?
Yeah, no, I mean like the first like the tutorial one is like
face. I don't know.
It just show you a screen with all the controls, and then it sends you on the way. That's what I mean, right?
What?
Like I remember, if I'm not wrong, I remember like the first level of Doom, it just before you start, it shows you the screen with all the controls and what the things does, and then it puts you in the world.
Yeah, but the first level, it's basically a tutorial. It doesn't have all the fluff that the new tutorials have due to like technical restriction.
Yeah. So you think
but
the
first level was not challenging. It was basically a sandbox for the player to get accustomed to a control.
All right. So, but you don't think
they
that
will throw some enemies here and there that will deal some damage.
So you don't think that the fluff and that what you get fluff hasn't like made the new player experience better overall?
I don't think it has changed it fundamentally.
You don't think that
it may
it's
look
changed?
better?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
But I think
like for example, I think the Destiny 2 new player experience, it's bloated.
You think it's too much?
Yeah, you spend a bunch of time doing these stupid missions, talking to people that are showing you, that are basically telling you need to go and check your bounty, and that's all there is. There is nothing else on that tutorial.
Okay.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
All right.
It's 4 hours of that, or 3 hours of that.
Okay. So you said that it hasn't changed fundamentally in any way. It's like why compare the new play experience of Warframe now with what we experienced back.
I mean, Warframe has like the things that make the Warframe experience bad are different to what in general makes a new player experience good or bad. Like, do I think that across the time has it become better in general?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's more or less the same.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you don't think that
do you remember the tutorial level for Age of Empires?
Yeah.
It's just one of the campaigns. You go through missions and they become a little bit more difficult each time. And basically each mission is trying to teach you some of the basics. Like the first one will teach you about movement, the second one about growing stuff, then about combat, then about economy.
Yeah.
It will take like 2 hours. Less than that, like an hour to complete. Yeah. Is that worse than modern experiences in that regard? I don't think so. It's as good or as bad as it will get for it.
As good or as bad as it will get. All right. So you said that fundamentally they haven't changed over time. They just like.
No, it's like for example, the Doom example that you're giving me is.
Yeah.
They probably didn't have the technology to say, okay, now show you one thing and say move with WSD or the pad or whatever.
Yeah.
Then now you arrive to this place and that triggers something that says, this is how you jump, and then you jump, and then it triggers another thing, this is how you shoot. We'll just give you all the information up front and we'll throw you in basically a dummy level. You'll get to try all those things.
All right.
That's what I'm calling fluff. It's just the way that it's presented now. It's probably more hand-holding because you get to fancy stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that was probably just a restriction of the technology at the time.
All right, you say like.
Does that make it better or worse? You're saying that it makes it better.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I don't think it does, but I don't think it makes it any worse here.
All right. Okay. Yeah, because my point about this is like we in the games industry we become better at teaching you things without you
I don't
being
think
very
so.
aware of it? What?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? But like
No.
I believe that we've been better at teaching you things without you feeling that you're being.
Oh, that's bullshit. You can spot a tutorial anywhere.
All right. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we haven't learned anything.
It's not about learning anything. It's just like if the presentation looks better,
Yeah.
that's an improvement.
All right. Okay.
But have the techniques really changed? Are they tricking you into learning stuff without you noticing? No.
All right. All right.
Unless you're playing completely mindlessly,
Fair enough.
there is no tutorial tricking you into. Oh, was this the tutorial?
So you haven't
I
like
didn't notice.
in your conception there's no non-tutorial that is like interesting for you, like how they teach you a thing inside the game.
I mean, interesting. The tutorial on itself, no.
Yeah.
Interesting because I am interested in the game. Yeah, but those are different things. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
have I ever been tricked into thinking, was this the tutorial? I didn't notice. No.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
doesn't happen. It's just
That's my point.
You
It's
kind of
like,
spot it. It's like, oh
Alright.
yes, they're showing me the stuff now.
oh, okay. Maybe you're a jaded player and
I'm not jaded. I'm 30-something years old. Like I kind of spot when a game is trying to teach me.
All right, fair enough. So you said that it's been like that fundamentally hasn't changed because they're just trying to teach you stuff, but the presentation of how to teach you stuff has been better.
Yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
way they've changed it over time. That the presentation of teaching you stuff.
Yeah, it looks
Been
more
improved.
appealing. It probably is better pace for some games,
Yeah.
but there's still a mixed bag out there.
So yeah, that was the question. Like how has it changed over time? So apparently not much.
I don't think so. Like
Apparently just like being better presented. Like that's the fundamental change. Like we become better at presenting tutorials. Better.
for the most part.
There you go. All right. Moving on. So, what are the expectations in a new player? In a new player experience, what do you expect? You as a Lucho player, you open a game, and what do you expect? The first 4 hours or 5 hours of the game to go.
I expect whatever is necessary so that I can interact with the game, like without having to look for external resources.
All right, so you expect that the game teach you everything about interacting with it without having to
Yeah.
go and look for something else. That's your
That's my
your
expectation.
expectation. That the game presents itself well enough when you don't have to research anything extra.
Yeah, like it's like I don't expect to be doing everything perfectly from the get-go, but it's
Yeah.
like if I wonder, okay, now I need to solve this problem that the game is presenting,
Yeah.
that I can do stuff. It's not like, okay, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then it failed. If I can figure out on my own, might not be the most efficient thing or the most efficient solution,
Yeah.
but I can solve whatever the game is throwing at me, consider that.
So you consider well served. All right. So
Yeah.
So yeah. I have similar expectation. I have expectation that the game present all the systems basic enough where I can play it without having to like research stuff. But I do expect that the game in that experience teach me what. How do you explain it? with cool things to come and how those system interacts between the others. At least at the end of the new player experience, I expect that.
I don't care about that really.
The little hook of to keep playing. Interesting. So that's
I guess that's true for most people.
Yeah.
Just in my case, if I decide to play a game, I will play it.
yes.
Otherwise, I won't even bother.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. And what is the expectation of the majority of like the expectation of what the majority of players will come into a game? I think the expectation is like that learning to play the game won't be cumbersome for the majority of people. So that everything is present well enough and you can interact well enough that there is nothing too obscure from the get-go into the game, and that they give you kind of a clear path of where to go with the game. Right? I think those are the things that people in general expect when they're going into a new game in the first hours of the game. That they clearly explain what this game is all about, that they teach you how to properly interact with it, and that they give you a path to follow to advance into the game in whatever shape or form that means.
That's probably true.
Could be main quests, could be opportunities of exploration, or anything else in between, like PvP interaction or whatever the game wants you to like show you as the paths of progression inside the game. And you expect that as a player you can be, as you say, you can be able to solve any problem with what for the majority of things while you are progressing through the game with the basics that they teach you in the new player experience. That you can use all that you have all that the game correctly gives you all these tools to solve your progression into the game.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the expectation of a good player experience. So with that in mind, what makes a new player experience good or bad?
I mean, how much they succeed at that.
Correct. That how much the game succeed at teaching you all the basic tools to progress through the game. And teaching you,
that's what I'm saying. That I wouldn't consider retention a good metric for that.
You won't consider retention a good metric for that?
No, because I may play a game and see a tutorial and say, okay, this is not for me. I'm out.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that the new player experience was good or bad. It means
well,
I don't want to play that game.
Yeah, there's like, but I don't think that's I don't think that's the majority of cases when you're like testing a new game. I don't feel that's the majority that you just play for 2 hours and say like, this game is not for me. If you test that game, you're being like either enticed or like by promotional or by somebody else who recommend the game for you, or something that you may be interested in or something like that, right?
Not necessarily. You may pick up a game that looks interesting.
Yeah.
You play it for the tutorial for 2-3 hours and you say, yeah, no, this is not grabbing my attention.
But how often that happens? Is that often, like 80% of the time?
Yeah.
You feel that's it? Like 80% of the time people does that and don't stick around with the game?
Yeah, that's my experience with most games.
That is weird, man. Fair, interesting enough. But does that mean that so for you that doesn't mean that the new player experience is bad?
No, that means that game is not for me.
All right. So because for me, if the game at least doesn't let you with a curiosity or like with a clear path to advance or something like that, or like doesn't tease you with something interesting to do into the game.
It may tease you, but do I want to know what happened? Yeah. Do I want it enough that I will keep playing? No.
So you say
That means nothing. What's the point of that?
That's not a failure on the new player experience. Like
No.
not retaining players.
Not all games are appealing to everyone. That makes your expectation is completely unreal in that.
That is true. So you're saying that not retaining a player is not a failure of a new player experience.
No, it's a failure of the game as a game.
It's a failure of the game as a game. All right. Okay.
It's just like, will I play all the games 100% all the time? No.
All right. But I think
I have picked up any game. I play 2 hours and I say, yeah, I can see appeal, but it's not for me.
But I think one of the in that case, yes. But I think one of the important things that a new player experience must do is give you a clear path of progression to the game.
Sure.
Right? Yes, we agree on that.
I don't completely agree with that, but that's because the type of experiences that I like. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
but that's not what I like in a game.
That's not what you like in game. Like I get the feeling that you prefer that will be kind of your choice.
No, I just prefer sandbox experience in that sense.
But those sandbox experience, like the majority of the new player experiences, doesn't like give you hints or a clue of how to advance even in a sandbox game?
No, it depends on the game. If you go, progress? For example, play what's the name? City Skylines.
Yeah.
You go, do your thing, whatever that is.
So what? But yeah. All right. Let's take that case. How is the new play experience for City Skylines?
Oh, there is. You just log in the game.
Yeah.
If the game detects that is the first mission, it will show you where to click things to build stuff.
Yeah. So it shows you all the tools for building. Yes.
Yeah, and that's it.
It doesn't
show you where to look for information. That's it.
It doesn't give you a goal inside the sandbox or something like that. Like
it does give you some goals.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Like some milestones of population.
Yeah. That's what I'm referring to.
But you don't have to hit them to.
Yeah. That's what I'm referring to. That's what I'm saying. That is your choice, but the game is actually showing you. Kind of like, this is a way that you can progress through the game. Just hit these goals or achievements or whatever.
But it's not for like it's not forcing you to do it. It's just
yes, I agree. Like none of the. In theory, the game shouldn't force you to do like the main quest or whatever. Even if some games does for the nature of like a narrative or something like that. But the point is my point is that it's showing you a clear path of progression.
Yeah, but for example, that is not designed for me because I'll ignore that and I'll just do whatever I want.
That is fine. But my point is like, it is doing it. Like, it could be a choice,
sure,
it could not be a choice.
Again, but I feel like that's there more for people who are like new to City Builder.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about new player experiences.
Not necessarily. Like one thing is being new to a game, one thing is being new to a whole new genre. That's fairly standard. Like you can take many city builders; they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much ignore whatever tutorials they're telling you and just do your thing.
Yeah. If you're, but yeah, we're talking about a new player experience from the perspective of a new player.
Yeah. No, but again, I'm making a distinction between being new to a game or like new to a genre. Like you can be new to a new game.
Yeah.
But it's still, for example, a city builder.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, you can pretty much ignore all the stuff because all city builders were kind of more or less the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. But it does. But my point is like it does show you a clear path.
I wouldn't call it clear. It does hint at something. It's not that very clear.
does that make part of a good player experience? Like that the game after it shows you how to play the basics, gives you an idea of how to progress through the game?
Sure. If you want to put it there, sure. I don't think it is, but if you want to include it, I see where you're coming from.
Why do you think it is, like in general?
I have said it before. I like the sense of being lost in the game. But
that's you personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are asking me, do I think it's necessary?
Yeah,
no,
you. But I think for the majority of players, I think it's necessary to give them like an idea.
That's what I'm saying. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me, then don't.
Then you don't, like, for you don't think that's an important part of the experience.
Yeah, but you're asking me.
You as a player,
and I'm telling
yes.
No.
All right.
And I told you, I know where you're coming from. Probably yes.
All right. So, what is a good play experience in summary? That they teach you correctly how to interact with the game, and there is nothing overly obscure, and they teach you all the tools necessary for you to progress through the game, right? And finally, that they give you with an idea of where to go to progress through the game.
Yeah,
I think those are the three most important things for a new player experience.
Yeah. I think it's just like the game will basically just present you a problem, and the new player experience is successful if you have the tools under your belt to solve
the problem. Yeah.
Said problem, because that's what most games do. They will just show you a problem or present you with an obstacle.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out how to overcome it. If the tutorial, quote unquote, has given you the tools to find the solution, that's successful.
There you go. You asked when is a player not considered not a new player anymore? I think we answered that a little bit before. Yeah.
Did we? That may have slipped my head, but my memory.
Okay. That is when you are when you have learned all the basic systems in the game, and you have correctly you have learned correctly how to interact in terms of gameplay properly with the game.
Sure. Yeah.
Basics, right? Because then we talk like there is more.
No.
Advanced systems, and that's not considered. That's when you stop being a new player, and that can take the shape of like between 4 to 12, 13 hours. That's when the game stop considering you a new player. There is some games with they keep considering you a new player for if there are games that been if there are games that have a clear level progression of being around for longer, they don't stop you considering you a new player till you reach certain cap or point, right? If they're kind of helping you to catch up in terms of if he has catch-up systems, so the game doesn't consider you, it considers you a new player till you reach that standard.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, what you're saying is different games will have different pacing.
Correct. But for me, as general, I think that's what I think, I don't know how to put it, like gameplay-wise, you stop being considered a new player when you learn all that and you kind of solve the first problems and have all the tools and know how to gameplay properly with the game, like interact properly with the game. Even if the game still considers you a new player in terms of caps or progress or whatever else. Right?
What do you have in mind with that example? Because I feel like you have in mind something very specific that may help clarify.
No. I was just thinking of like different genres of games have different points where they stop considering you a new player inside the game. And then I'll put an example. God of War stopped considering you a new player in the game after like the first 4 hours when they showcase the systems and they teach you how to fight, right? And
Okay.
and then it stops. And then other games like MMOs or the progression games don't stop considering you a new player till you hit like level 60, even if you already learned the majority how to control and gameplay the majority of the systems.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. That's my point. But you technically, like after the first 30 levels or something like that in a MMO, you're not technically, as we explained, you're not anymore a new player because you already learned the tools.
I don't even
think?
think the game does consider you a new player anymore. Like even in MMO case, because basically what you're saying is that the new player experience doesn't end where the end game starts. Yes,
And
I agree.
Okay.
What you're saying is
Yes.
there is a middle.
Yes, as we mentioned before.
content.
Yeah, you put it better.
And-
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people would get confused because what I'm saying here is like people will get confused or say, what are you talking about? Because the game sometimes keeps calling them or referring them as new players for extended time.
For example, which game does that?
Honkai Impact keeps referring you as a new player for like a month and a half.
Okay, I see. I get that.
You get my point.
I think they do it for artificial reasons more than.
Yes, that's my point. Yeah.
I think the naming in that case is more artificial than anything.
Yeah.
And it's also if you think out the space of progression in general for that game,
Yeah.
for example, it's very slow progression.
Yeah.
So so a month in the large scheme of things doesn't sound unreasonable.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because as when we talk about it, like again, the whole account progression, like or like overall progression in Honkai, it's very slow. Like whole collecting and building teams and
Correct.
setting up stuff that will make you successful in game. It takes months, many months
Yeah.
of grinding.
Yeah.
So in that sense, 1 month of considering you officially a new player, even though you know mechanically, like in that case, the designation is more resignation of the advancement of your account,
In the overall game, yeah.
more than just mechanic wise.
Or you as a player, yeah. Yeah.
But I see where you're coming from. It seems more of a technicality and it's less common.
But I don't know. I got the feeling that I want to clarify it.
No, that's fair. But
Yeah. So
but
that's
I also feel like that's fairly uncommon outside like a very specific gacha environment.
I don't know.
Not many games that are not gachas do that.
Fair enough. But
Because for example, 14 does something similar.
yes, 13 does something similar. They put
But-
you on, I believe.
But it's kind of to alleviate like social expectation.
Correct.
But not many games do that up front.
That is true. But hey, you never know.
You never know, but but it's definitely not. It's definitely not the norm.
Yeah.
So those cases are more the exception.
Correct. All right. So when does too much handholding tamper with the enjoyment of the game in the new player experience? I think
Has
it's a
it ever
problem
happened
of
to you?
pacing, right? Isn't it?
I don't think so. Or not necessarily of just space.
All right. So
It's just
yeah.
like, do I need to learn to use was to move in every single game? No, I don't.
All right. So you say that if they extend too much, that particular part of like, oh yeah, you can move, because generally the gameplay tutorials in that's like, I just use was to move, and you just do it and then you move on.
Yeah,
Right.
but do I need to know that in every game? Like, I don't know if it's me, but like,
remember that you have to have one thing in mind when you're talking about that. Is like we as gamers, we have what is called gamer literacy. So we are we're very familiar with controls and that sort of stuff, and you have to think like,
I know what you mean, and I
Yeah.
get it. It's there once.
yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But in some games it's just like too much.
So would you prefer to have like an opt-in option where they ask you, are you a gamer literate?
I mean, some games do offer some of that.
Some games that ask you like, have you played this genre before or
Yes.
something like that, and then they explain less things, and they explain things at a faster pace.
At a faster pace.
So you prefer
Which-
that? You want
which
that
I
to
think-
be
I
part
think-
of?
I
of
think
the
more
game.
games should do that.
All right, yeah, that's an interesting part. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you in those terms. It can be weird because sometimes, I don't know, a lot of games. It happens to me that I generally use that time where the game is teaching me dumb things to actually like. I think it's just me, or like a weird thing that I do. While I'm going through that kind of like movement through and that sort of stuff, I use that time to keybind different things to make the game more comfortable for me. And I've been into the habit of trying to keybind uniformly all the schemes of movement in the games. Like if a grenade is this key in this game, it has to be in the next and the next and the next game, for me to keep that muscle memory. That's what I do while they dumb down the movement stuff. But you're definitely right.
But you don't need that. You can just take 5 minutes at the beginning of the game and do it.
Yes.
or you can discover it like naturally on your own. So you just start playing and you say, oh, I need to do the crouching.
Yeah.
And then you press all the keys on your keyboard and you say, okay, this is the crouching, I'm gonna rewind. Or you take 5 minutes and read all the keywinds and
all the keywinds. I do that a lot, you know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you're gonna read anyway, so you can just take the 10 minutes that it'll take you to it. and be done with that.
So a new play experience will be better served if you have that kind of opt-in option of like, I know how to play games.
No, but like for example, I'm let's say Age of Empires 4.
All right, yeah.
Do I need to learn that
How to select units with the right click over
select units and group units? No, the game can have a thing. It's like, oh, have you ever played RTSs before? Yes or no, and if or do you want like a tutorial on like basic RTS stuff?
So that's what you mean, that when the game drags in that sense, it's like, it doesn't give you that option of like, if I've played this before, you're gonna showcase to me again. That's your point. Like they should do less of that and more of asking you if you are already if you already have game literacy in that genre.
Yeah, because sometimes you just want to jump into
a game and just show me the systems and what new has.
show me what you have to offer. I don't care about
basic
like
stuff.
I don't need the hand holding, and a lot of people don't for a specific.
Do we add that of what is good in a new player experience? That particular thing, that an opt-in.
I think I don't think that will make it or break it. To be honest, that's more me saying, can we just get over with all this bullshit?
Well, okay. So have ever like a hand-holding like explanation of a system temper your enjoyment of a game? Like not gameplay that we know and game literacy, but explanation of systems and that sort of interaction.
But like over explanation?
Yeah, like over explanation is too slow explanation, or like, I know kind of how this works, just like stop making me do things in there or something like that. Or like that, or the other thing is like they explain a system to you and you're like, I didn't understand, and then the game moves on.
Oh, I mean, that happens all the time. So that's kind of
yeah, and you
that's a different type of problem.
But they're both tampering your enjoyment, or not?
They both do.
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
Fair enough. All right. So what do you prefer? You prefer like to move on and leave you questioning your existence, or to?
I kind of prefer that. Because we have the internet nowadays.
Yeah. All right. But you talk that's a failure of a new player experience, right?
It may be as well. But I prefer failing that way than failing.
So that you prefer that they fail that way, that over-explain the thing and like pace you down till the game is sure that you actually understand that system.
Yes.
All right. So this is difficult balance then.
It's probably. It's also a problem that I have noticed more in mobile games. To be fair.
Yeah.
That tend to have all this. You cannot advance until you click this specific thing kind of approach.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know, just go away.
But it happens in like normal games too, like.
It also happens in normal game.
Yeah.
But when you're like locked into that situation that I know, I don't care, I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
Whenever that happens, it's the point where I say, this is too much.
Yeah.
Give me my skip.
Give me my skip. Oh my god. So what is the conclusion of this question? It's like, is it good? Is it bad? I like the opt-in option to like move along the pace if you are already game literacy. That more games should have that option. But the other one, I don't know, like you prefer the game not to force you to actually make sure that you understand a system. You prefer to move on and don't understand the system, or like that the game is quick and moves on and doesn't explain the system correctly to you or something like that.
I do prefer that.
All right.
That
but
is
what is the correct thing to do then?
It's probably case, somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. Somewhere where they explain
like many things in life.
Yeah.
Like many things in life, the correct answer is never black or white. Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle with the like with the I think the best way to do it is kind of a mix between gameplay and explanation of the system. Something like show you directly how that system impacts your gameplay, like in a very tangible form. I think that's the best way to do it. Like, I don't know, an example. I'm gonna throw a random example like that. No game. I don't know, if you have an augment system and then every time you put something, I don't know, if you put like an orb of fire, then your attack will change to fire. give a easy example. The best way to teach that system is send the player to a tutorialized level, and then show them an ice monster, right? And then tell them like, you need fire to do this. So this is the way that the system interacts. You kill the fire monster and that's it. Now you understand how the system interacts as much as in gameplay as inside the system. Right? I think that's the best way to do it. What do you think?
I think that's a very interactive way of doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best. I know. It's very didactic. It's very didactic.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. I think it's better that just show you the screen and tell like, oh yeah, this is fire and this combines with this and this putting here in this and you put in these slots. And you're like, okay. And then after a while you realize, this is having an actual like fire effect on whatever I'm using.
Reading comprehension is important in life.
Yeah, I know. But like, being didactic is easier and better.
It's easier. I don't know if it's better.
But it's better for the player to actually understand properly.
That's kind of my point. But I don't think it's better.
Like I
think those things, like the example that you described, it's just padding the game.
So you find that example, that didactic, that is too much?
Yeah, too much. Just why are we in this level for just this? Move on. I don't want to do this. You can tell me this on words.
Yeah, but the thing is like everybody learns differently.
I know.
That's the point. That's the thing, right? And
everyone should learn how to read.
Yes, but everybody learns differently. and in technical terms, for a good new player experience, you should appeal to the wider audience. So
no, you should appeal to the audience that you want.
So you be like uptight and put that in like I wanted that my audience knows how to like learning from properly reading a wall of text. That's what you're saying.
if I were making a game, yes.
Well, there is a point there that you should know what audience are you aiming to. Properly.
Like aside from me joking about it.
Yeah.
I don't think the new player experience should appeal to everyone.
Unless that's what you want, right? In the game.
Yeah, even that is a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Like
Go on.
When you assign something, you have to know that your thing is not gonna be used by everyone all the time for all the. You need to assign something with a purpose. This is my audience. These are the people who I'm targeting.
Yeah.
That are gonna buy, quote unquote, stick with this product.
Yeah.
So you assign things for them, and to appeal to your core demographic.
Okay.
Because if you assign something for everyone, it's kind of this. It ends up in this design space it's kind of for everyone, but really for no one. Because it doesn't generate strong ties to anyone.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. You should have your audience in mind when you're designing these new player experiences, and that touches everything, like from pacing, from how didactic you're gonna be, how explanative you're gonna be, and everything else. I think that's the point that you want to make, right?
Yeah. It's more on that. Jokes aside, is more that than.
Yeah.
Like if you're designing a game for kids, sure, you need to be more.
Yeah.
If you're doing a mature content.
You expect your audience to know how to properly read, and you have to be less didactic in the explanation of the systems, and
we can get rid of the silly levels and then just go to the real stuff.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but yes. So I think the answers to that is know your audience, and that will determine if you're doing a good job or not hand-holding them too much. Right?
Yeah. It's about knowing where you're aiming, or what are you aiming for, and balancing things accordingly.
Yeah, but we definitely want more of that opt-in system in tutorials and games.
That I would like to see that more often than not. Because we're being honest, not every game is just completely different from all the other games that already exist.
Yeah, correct. All right. So what are examples of good, and to finish all this, what are examples of good and bad new play experience, and why is relevant to the post that all this conversation comes from after saying all that we've been saying? So I think we can ask ourselves if the Warframe new player experience is good under our terms, right?
No, still not.
Yeah. So does explain all the systems well? No. Does it
does explain.
It does give you a good gameplay. Like it gives you a good It gives you a good teaching system of interaction, like how to interact with everything in the game. You know how to do it.
Yes.
And how to properly move in the game and shoot and that sort of stuff. That's fantastic. It does a great job too. But it does not properly explain systems.
It does. It doesn't. That's kind of the problem. It does and it doesn't.
It does and it doesn't. So
because,
it makes some
because
work. It does in some cases. It does in other, which is bad because
it's very inconsistent.
Correct.
Because if you think carefully about Warframe, it does that thing of it shows you where all the things are.
Yeah, correct.
And it shows you how everything moves around and what things mean.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really teach you how the system works.
Correct.
So for example, it shows you how to put mods on your weapon.
Yeah.
But it never explains what all these numbers mean.
Correct.
So for example, you see all this damage, accuracy
going up, and that's stuff, but it never tells you like it would be interesting if I put a armor mod, then in showcase, this mod just augment this part of your stats, or something like that.
It could.
Yeah.
But also again, it's kind of a problem derived of how weird the game is inside. Because for example, you go to a Warframe, and you say, okay, they have health, that sounds reasonable. They have armor, sure.
And they have shields.
But they also have shields, which, okay, they are somehow different.
Yes.
And then they have these other things. They have energy, and they have
duration.
And what is this strength? What is this range thing? Yeah. Which, and then you see all these names and numbers, and this, and not all the abilities for not all the Warframes interact the same way with all the things. Like some abilities scale out of vitality or out of health.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
For reasons.
For reasons, yeah.
Which is, I'm not saying they should explain why, but it's just and you never see those things straightforward.
Yeah. Well, so we'll Warframe in that sense will be well served from a point on that experience when they take you to one of the training thingies, which is weird because you get access to the training dummies. You know the training room when you spawn enemies, you get access to that way farther into the game. Will it be
because that is not designed
for yeah, I know that it's not designed for teaching new players. It's designed for you to test. It's other type of system, right? But it will be. Will it serve you to take you to that environment and walk you through all the changes when you're putting mods? So the same thing as my example before. Be more didactic about teaching you that system, right?
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
and it could help.
Yeah,
but I don't know if that would make the new player experience more successful.
Yeah, because the other thing that Warframe fails is to show you the progression path of Warframe.
Yeah.
It's the other thing that it fails.
Yeah, it felt a different level.
Yeah, but so those are the two things that to be a good player spin, they should fix. That they should showcase you a little bit more clearly, or give you a little bit better idea of how to progress through the game, and maybe do a little bit more didactic in the mod system specifically, because it's one of the most important systems in the entire game.
Yeah, but the Warframe has so much numbers and names of things that I don't know if, I don't know how many didactic scenarios you'll have to make for.
No, I don't think you don't need more than one. You don't need more than one. You just need one example of how putting a mod inside a frame changes whatever it does, and you need an example of putting a mod into a weapon changes whatever it does. That's it.
But they do that. There is one mission where they make you put a fire mod in your weapon.
I don't remember.
Yes, they do have.
Okay. Maybe more didactic than that. Especially on frames. I don't think they do it in frames. I think they tell you to put
they cannot do it in frames.
Huh?
They cannot do it in frames.
Kinda.
Because it will be very misleading.
It's fair enough. Yeah. But maybe we need better, more direct, because that's the major gripe of the.
I don't know. The problem is that I don't know what the answer is.
All right.
But I know, I can see why they don't do it for frames, and it's because all the frames abilities and all the frames scale differently from different stats.
You think that they worry about confusing the player of
It is already confusing. It will be way more misleading if they give you more information. Because it could be seen as deceiving at that point.
But it depends how you present it, because if you properly explain that, you have to see what the frame scales up from per ability.
Yeah, the problem is that information is not in game.
Oh fuck, yeah, you're right. Maybe make it more
some abilities, there is no way to know what they scale from. So, Rhino, which is one of the first frames that you get. There is no explain that your armor thingy.
Yeah, that the ability scales from armor. Doesn't say anywhere.
Scales from health.
Scales from health. Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere.
It does imply that it scales from duration, because it has a duration, and it scales from ability strength, because it also does that's a multiplier.
Yeah.
But it is multiplying our health. Mm-hmm.
So what will you make that more clear in the ability descriptions?
It is. it is. That's something that they have tried to do.
Yeah.
But that's a very ingrained problem, specifically in Word. That, for example, Noah's fourth ability scales from duration and not from range.
Yes.
Which makes no sense at all.
Yes.
Because it's a big circular thing that grows out of the center. You'll think, okay, it's range.
It's range, yeah. You need more range.
It's not.
Yeah, you're right.
And there are many, many other examples in the old Warframes of things that don't scale out of the thing that you will expect.
But will it fix just put it into the tooltip and make it more clear what it scales from, even if it doesn't make sense?
It could, and they've been taking steps towards that.
Yeah.
But again, it's making a didactic thing for that.
Yeah.
It's very challenging.
All right. Okay.
You see why? Because it's just so diverse that it's kind of impossible to have a sensual didactic approach. Right. So you put you put vitality in your Warframe, and it shows you you get more health.
Yeah.
That's good. But that's not enough for what the system is
Yeah.
to make it good. It's kind of serviceable, but it's just bad.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because it's doing the thing that you were saying. It's doing like, it's showing you how to do the thing. But but it falls very short of what you should actually, of what you actually need to be successful at the game.
Yeah.
Like you need way more than just put more health into the warfare.
Yeah, correct. So where does the Monster Hunter experience that is kind of similar to Warframe in some ways succeeds where the Warframe experience does not? Well, for first, I will start that clearly Monster Hunter gives you a very clear progression path to begin with.
It's a very linear progression.
Yeah, but the second thing is like you were talking that they didn't explain decorations at any point.
No,
or
they didn't. They did explain decorations in the sense that they at some point you unlock the Elder Murder.
Yeah, correct.
She gives you a decoration, and they showed you how to put a decoration on your slot.
Correct.
What they never explained is how skills work.
Yeah.
And how it's for example, the game is very misleading in that the game shows you how to upgrade armor.
Correct.
And it does a very good job. Okay, there are these upgrade paths. It of course makes sense to upgrade things because they have bigger numbers and they are better.
Yeah.
And the game does suggest that is the way to move forward.
Yeah.
But that's very misleading. Because upgrades are not what matters in the game. What matters are the armor skill.
Yeah, armor skills, yes. Well, upgrades matter in terms of number when you're...
But since the game is so intensive, you can have weak numbers and still be successful.
Correct.
Because what matters more, the most, are the skills on itself
that you have. So why you feel that doesn't make the new player experience in Monster Hunter bad?
I mean, for Monster Hunter specifically, it's because you can overcome the difficulty with just pure mechanical skill.
All right, you have a point.
you can beat the game without ever taking a single point of damage.
Yes.
So just out of pure mechanical skill, you can overcome some of the I guess RPG limitations.
Yeah.
And if we're being absolutely fair, Monster Hunter relies a lot in the fact that it's a Monster Hunter game, and that people know that the skills are what matter.
Yeah. Okay. So it relies into the previous knowledge of the franchise.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And it does a lot. It's not a little.
So, but will you consider the new play experience in Monster Hunter good then?
I do consider it good, but not because it's good for different reasons, kind of. It's good because it basically shows you successfully how to interact with all the things.
Yeah.
And it has pretty much all the information there, which it's one of the things that makes the UI so awful in Hunter.
Yes.
But so in that sense, it is successful. But how do I explain it? But it's successful because you can progress despite of it, not because of it.
So, but that means that they did give you the tools to fix, to overcome your problems, even if they didn't give you all the tools.
Not really, but they didn't give you. It's just that to advance through a story, you don't need the best armor.
Yeah.
You only you're only limited by your gear once you start fighting the more difficult monster.
Yeah, correct.
So to progress to the game and to quote unquote beat the game,
Yes, they did. They successfully
you
did.
really don't need to concern yourself with skill.
Correct.
And it's just one of these weird things that skills become like this end game system.
Yeah.
So it is successful in that it really doesn't matter, because if you reach the point where it matters, you just understand the game at that point.
Yeah.
And if it does, but you can beat the whole thing without ever thinking about it.
So it does succeed.
So what?
So it does succeed on being a good new player experience.
Yeah. But it succeeds just because it doesn't succeed on the heels of
they
properly
separate.
showing you everything.
They kind of
It
separated
succeeds.
the systems.
Not separated, but they just know what they should like. Like they are very well aware that you don't need these things to progress to a game.
Correct. Yeah.
So they don't bother about showing you them.
Yeah. Fair.
But they make other parts of the game open. Like the UI.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
UI
that's
is
the
just
price.
terrible.
That's the price
That's the
to
price
pay
that you
for
have to pay.
showing everything.
Yes.
As clearly
Or
as
like
possible.
a good chunk of most of the information that you need is, and to be fair, it's buried under submenus of menus of things.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy to access, but it's there.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, to progress through the game, you can, like, mostly, as you say, ignore all that and, like...
You can pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know, it's curious. Any other, like, good or bad new player experience that you would like to talk about?
That I would like to. I don't know. The Destiny 2 is bad. Just boring.
Destiny 2, but then again, put it into the frame that we designed. Does it teach you all the basics to overcome the obstacles in the game?
It probably does. It probably does.
All right. Does it showcase correctly the majority of the systems that you need for that?
I think so, but I don't remember completely.
Yes.
But that sounds right.
Yeah. And does it give you a clear path for progressing through the game?
That I'm not sure.
Or the
about
idea
the new
of
one.
a clear path to progress through the game?
I'm not sure about that.
I
don't think it does anymore.
I think it does in New Light. It just put you on it continues to give you quests till you open all the locations in every activity.
Yeah, but that's part of the tutorial.
Yeah, and then it leaves you with the options of grabbing any of the quests. And if you are in one of the expansions, it gives you the quest directly for going through the story of that expansion.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But is that really progression in Destiny?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I still don't like it.
Yeah, it's technically a good experience if Lucho don't like it. But maybe it's a problem of pace for him. Or...
It's also, I don't, like, to be fair, I don't know what the new live experience is.
It's kind of like that. We'll get more insight because we're doing kind of a new light on the new content I'm doing with Santiago. We're gonna do like a full new light tutorial in 2021.
Sounds fun.
Yep. Yeah, he feels like
all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah, he feels like a lot of Destiny players get lost after a while. So
that is true.
Yeah,
that I don't disagree with.
Yeah. So he wants to fix that by doing a new like player tutorial.
That's fine. Still think it's kind of boring, but I'm definitely not the audience for that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so I think that's it about it. We kind of run out of time.
It sounds all right.
Yeah. So yeah, new player experiences are important.
Are they?
Do better.
You just throw your player in the middle of everything. We'll figure out.
Close your eyes and destroy them. Go away.
Yeah.
That's what Lucho wants. Anyways, so now we move to audience questions and feedback. Remember, you want to give your burning questions or comments or whatever, leave it down in the comments below if you're watching us on YouTube. Otherwise, contact us in any of our social media, Twitter, Twitch, email, any way, shape, or form that you can, so we can answer your burning question. The first question of this week is, do you recommend participating in PTRs?
Do I recommend?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. I me neither. Unless you're like a content creator or you want to look certain change on something, or you're like a long time player of the game, or if you want to test the game before you buy it and it's an open beta, you treat it as a demo.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Not for that last specific case.
All right.
Because PTRs are not a good representation of what the games are.
That is true. What the end game it is.
So I wouldn't recommend it because of that. Like PTRs are never, and even for that regard, like early testing, unless it's like open beta kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's usually designed to test like very specific parts of a game. So
yeah.
And it ends up being not a good representation of what the actual experience will be.
Yeah, correct.
So I wouldn't recommend it for that unless you're like very interested in that specific piece of content, or not even if you're a content creator, like you're already a player who cares how things just beyond experiencing the game, sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
But not for the general public.
I agree with you. PTRs are a very weird thing. Alright, should PTRs be used as promotion for games, or should we go back to demos?
That's a loaded question. Because I don't think they should be used for promotional purposes.
Yeah.
I also think that demos are kind of lame.
Oh wow, he says demos are lame.
Just because I kind of believe that the industry should move to...
What?
Again, demos in what sense? Maybe demos are not lame. I just don't like them.
You don't like demos in general?
It's blue balling players. I don't like them.
Is what? Blue balling
blue
players?
Balling. So I don't like it.
But is it better for the customers? Like, I want to see this game is good enough, so I just play the demo for free, which are they generally what the demo does.
Yes.
Yes.
But I feel like most demos are trash, so they don't accomplish that.
Wow. But generally demos is like the first few levels of the game or something like that.
Yeah, but in most cases that is not representative. That's just a tease.
Yeah, okay.
So for example, the 14 free-to-play thingy.
Yeah, trial. Yeah.
That's a very good demo.
Yes, you could say that. Yeah.
It is. That's what.
So you prefer like free trials times with the cap that actual demos build up to be a demo.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That demos are lame.
Ah.
But if you think about it, like that free-to-play experience, for example, for 14, that's in practice a demo of the game.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So you prefer that instead of actual demos?
So I prefer something closer to that than an actual demo claim.
All right. And you shouldn't use PTRs as alpha testing or beta testing.
No, you should. No. I mean, some do at some point. Okay, I wouldn't be completely opposed of like the last phase of testing to be for that.
Like an open beta with
like an open beta, like you will still get like in an open beta.
Yeah,
you will still get people who will like properly test the product.
Yeah,
while still like letting just people in and try the part of the experience and be kind of promotion. Okay. But that only works as long as the previous testing has been done properly.
So as long as your open beta is just like a stress test or something like that, not like
or just the last, like if the game had a robust testing, you can like add on a last quote unquote testing phase
just to showcase
use it for promotion.
Before promotion.
As long as that is not tampering the actual testing of the product.
Yeah.
Sure. How much that will in reality happen? Yeah, that's to wait. because testing, like putting up testing servers and stuff like that, that's expensive.
Yeah.
So there are incentives to mix things in a way that will be detrimental to the whole quality assurance process.
Yeah.
But it could be used.
All right.
But
all right.
I don't think it's something that should be done. It's at a regular basis. I don't think it's a good idea.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree with you on all that. Yeah. All right, and that's it for the show, my friend.
That's all for this week's episode. Once again, thanks for tuning in into Sweaty the Farmer and the Game Design. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at BluesGPlank.
And I'm the London Gamer, and you can find me on Twitter at the London Gamer and on Twitch on twitch.tv/LondonGamer, where I will stream the beginning of season 15 of Destiny 2. Hopefully, everything goes well, because they delay new words, so there you go. Follow me on your social media to know when I'm going live. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and do everything social. Click all the buttons, give us all the love, and thanks for coming to the Sweaty the Farmer and the Game Design. See you next time. Bye. And did you know Concord grapes are slip skin grapes? This means the skin easily separates from the pulp. More of these unique purple grapes are grown in the US than any other variety. According to the Concord Grape Association, the iconic Welch grape juice was born in 1869 when New Jersey dentist Dr. Thomas Welch used pasteurization to preserve juice from the Concord grapes grown inside his home. Why is a doctor, like a dentist, doing pasteurization with juices?
To sell sweets and get more businesses. more business for this.
Did we just uncover the evil plot?
Probably not, but that's just my tinfoil hat theory.
There you go.
And these vigorous plants are winter hardy and can produce over 20 pounds of fruit per vine per year, and often live for more than 4 years. Concord grapes are a variety of Vitis labrusca, are named after the city of its origin, Concord, Massachusetts.
All right. So have you had any Concord grapes?
Maybe
they're the you know what is the difference? Like you have like normal, like purple grapes and green grapes, right?
Yeah.
These ones are the ones that like they look like I have a bluish kind of dry skin. And they're smaller than the normal